Hey there, my fellow wannabe gardeners, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid, Brandenburg Shelter. Episode 21. Finally fetching a damn shovel. If this is an apocalypse, why is there radio? The game actually goes into a fair bit of detail about that. The TLDR is that this is a somewhat contained situation, but not perfectly contained. So there is, yeah, so like essentially the outbreak isn't everywhere exactly. It's centralized around here, meaning that there's like radio coming from elsewhere, but there are like radio reports of issues from elsewhere. So I believe, I don't follow the lore all that much. I just play the game. But I believe that there are like radio reports of foreign cities that are not, you know, in Kentucky suffering. So I think the idea is that there are places that are still broadcasting, but like for the most part, the world is pretty in a bad way. I'm sure some of you in the chat know better than I, because I don't pay any attention to it. I don't care. Wait, this doesn't have a battery at all? Okay. Oh, this already has the automated broadcast system in it. Minor pain? Why am I in pain? What did I do? Oh, I'm holding like a lot of weight. Okay, hold on. Transfer everything but my food. So some of these, some of the stuff I was... No, I'm actually okay with dropping it all. I'm no longer encumbered now. Alright, let's eat a very disappointing burger. I'll put my tater tots in the fridge for tomorrow. Did I? Oh, I favorited them. And, I'm going to continue the community garden. Well, actually, you guys can vote. Do you want me to continue the garden? Or do you want me to do something else? I know I've spent a lot of time, like, trying to... Oh, there goes power. I know that I've spent a lot of time trying to gather the gardening materials. But, if you want me to continue that, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure that you indeed want me to continue on that project, because it's been a minute. Alright, so here's the thing. Now that we're running off of generator power, wow, actually, that is sipping power. Never mind. I was actually very worried about the gas generator here being drained by a lot of sources, but 9 lights and just a mini fridge is, like, fine. I don't need to do anything. I was originally going to, like, run around and turn off the lights around this facility, but that power usage is totally acceptable to me. So that's convenient. I like it. What? All of those toilets have no water? Dog treats, sure thing. I probably don't need all the lights on down here. Oh, God. You know what? I'm gonna keep them on. The slightly higher fuel usage is definitely a small price to pay for the I can actually see. Because the amount of darkness that darkness incurs is so silly. It's like I have open windows in that room. Come on now. Generators don't get attacked. They do attract zombies, but not from too far away. They're, Oh, I forgot to pick my chicken nuggets. Their attraction radius is like 20 cells. So this generator would attract zombies from like this yellow bush. Like that's about the distance or so. Now there are new types of generators. So some generators are like louder. So the really old school generators that look like they're straight out of the early 1900s are indeed super loud. So there is generator stats. And they're not really displayed. So you have to be careful about that, because you could be using a really loud generator and not really know it. Alright, plan. Let's resolve that. You still want me to work in the garden, so I'm going to try to head over to the tool shop again. I'm going to go back there and hope that the crowd that was aroused due to the USPS depot has dispersed. Before I do that, I'm going to do a quick patrol around the building, because 2 people were sleeping up alongside the side of the building, or ex-people. I just want to make sure we're nice and secure. Oh, there's like keys right there. Okay. How did I miss that? I don't even think anyone made a YouTube comment about this key. It's to the truck here? Y'all? That truck is a 59 trunk, so not great. But maybe with a little bit of metalwork and mechanic love, I can get this truck running. Engine stats. Loud but higher quality. It has a few bum tires and doors. It's in pretty good working order. It doesn't have gas. Cool. Well, if this, if the trunk was bigger, I'd switch immediately, but at 59, my van is still, superior. Wait, what the hell? I left the key in the ignition! Game, did you pull the key out? No! It has 2 keys? Wait, what? Fine, alright, another key in the glove box. And I'll mark down that I have, another ungashed car in the parking lot here. So I've been using the red steering wheels symbol to indicate that it's a vehicle that I've left keys in the ignition but are not fueled. And then blue is keys in the ignition and fueled. So 3 of the vehicles in this parking lot I could potentially use as burner cars. Oh right, the crowbar is breaking soon. Good point. Let me go grab a spare. Also, yep. I see him. So I had mentioned before, and I'll say it again, just in case someone missed it. The way I like to barricade are boards on the outside and metal sheets on the inside. Because with boards on the outside, I can tell that this window is at 75%-ish, somewhere between 50% and 75% barricaded, right? It's missing a plank, so it's missing 25%. And then the second plank has some damage on it. If this was a metal sheet, it's either there or it's not. You can't tell what percentage it is. It's either, if the metal plate is there, it's something above 0, but you don't know how much above 0. So you don't know if it's like a sneeze away from being broken or it has a lot of durability left. And that's why I like to put boards on the outside so you can sort of track damage, and then sheets on the inside, because if they ever get through 4 boards, it's really nice to have a metal sheet on the inside for like really, really needed secured areas. So that is what you saw back there is a great case in point, where if it was a metal sheet, I'd have no idea if it would need replacing or not, because I wouldn't know if it was one hit away from being fully broken or if it was pretty much fully intact. There is no like right click inspect, which honestly I feel like there should be. I feel like you should be able to inspect the durability of your barricades. I don't know why that isn't a thing. And another reason to do it that way is metal sheets are just a lot more rare than planks. So you don't want to be burning a bunch of metal sheets on your external barricades unless you have, like, an incredible amount of metal to spare. Which... usually you don't. Come on, I saw you. Just get over here. So for those that weren't around for the very start of the stream, I had tried to go to a tool store in the center of town, just past this this post office. And going into the post office, I triggered a house alarm, or a building alarm. And I had to bail on that, because every zombie in the neighborhood was coming flooding. So we've waited about 2 days, and we're returning back to where the alarm went off, to try to get to the hardware store that I wanted to get to, which is that building just east of me, this building right here. And what I'm hoping is that there isn't like a mega swarm still from the building alarm. This area shouldn't be quite as busy as the Gigamart. Now, I don't know why the zombie distribution for that like Gigamart shopping plaza was so ridiculous. It's like in the history of that shopping plaza, it's never seen more customers than there were zombies. I don't think that's an unreasonable assessment. So, I don't know why it was crazy over there, but what I do know is we're not going to be able to fight the 500 zombies that, or 1,000 zombies that spilled out of that building. It looked like a shopping mall. It did, but it's not. It's you know, it's just a little shopping plaza that shouldn't have been crawling like House of 1,000 Corpses. Key residence. I don't know what. I don't see... I'm just gonna leave this key behind. I don't care. So my priority is to go to this hardware store to try to find rakes, shovels, etc. And then if I can swing through the mail store, I will. But this is the important stop. Okay, what do we got? Funnel, knee pads, nails. I'll take nails. I'll take rope. I probably have enough rope. Here we go, watering can, and a bunch of seed packets. And a lot of these seed packets are seeds I hadn't seen before. So they might have growing seasons that are more August friendly. Am I still incognito? Yes. A handy knife. I remember reading in the patch logs that they made those a lot more durable. I think they were like breaking the moment you sneezed on them. Alright, I am definitely going to be way encumbered, but that's okay. Hand scythe. I don't need grass cuttings. That's more of a animal husbandry thing. Wood glue is always nice to have. Fixes up wooden weapons and the like. Tools, etc. So in terms of what I need, I do have the watering can. I wouldn't mind the spray can to be able to cure diseases for crops. And then, of course, like a shovel. It would be hard to believe there wouldn't be some sort of shovel on these shelves. Hand fork. Alright, here's a spray can. Perfect. And more slug repellent. I don't actually... Slugs... Correct me if I'm wrong. Is slugs a game mechanic that actually exists yet? I think it was, and then it wasn't working correctly, and then took it out. The slug repellent isn't that heavy, so I'll grab it, but I don't believe slugs are a thing. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. In here, we've got a bandsaw. Oh, I'm getting winded from my weight. Electric blower forge. Shears, wood glue. Strangely enough, no shovels. Shovels also are something that we might be able to find in, like, garages. Worst case scenario, like if I can't find them back here. A lot of propane tanks. Good to know. And we've got, like, floodlights that we could grab. I might need a sack. Wow, no shovel in a hardware store. What is all this noise? And this is just an office. Okay, we are shovelless. There is also the case of, like, making a shovel from scratch, but I think I'd rather just go garage to garage. I think that's a far more reasonable approach. So let's go ahead and get this stuff back to base, because it's breaking my back, or at least stick it in the trunk, and then scour for a shovel. What is that building? Oh, you know, I want to check out that building too. Now, those rats just sounded crazy to me. They were making all sorts of, like, scurry noises that rats don't make, but... I was worried that there was something else afoot. How's my strength training going up? So once I bring all this stuff back and I have a shovel and some sacks for dirt and all that, I will, I'll read the packets and figure out exactly what I want to be planting so that we work in tandem with the growing seasons so that I don't end up planting anything that is worthless to me. But with my high exertion, let's see about reading in the car. There we go. So there was the garage thing out back. I'm going to check that next. One fence and I'm winded. What is going on with this? Is that like a garage door for a second story? Like, what do they access this building with the mother of all forklifts? Welding torch, nails. Ah, I forgot to empty the bag. My bag of nails. Yeah, this is a weird building. Like, seriously weird. It's like a loading bay for monster trucks. And there's just all planks in here. There isn't anything correlating to a hardware store. Additionally, you would never store anything of weight on the second story. Right? Like, I know this is pedantic, but like, no warehouse ever stores stuff on second story. Like, the engineering requirements for the weight support to store anything on the second story when you have plenty of prime real estate on your first story is uneconomic. Which is why you never see two-story warehouses. They don't exist. So that is a super weird building as a result. You have a 200-ton machine on second story? I mean, there might be, like, specialized reasons for it, perhaps. But, like, you would certainly not typically have that as, like, a thing that you would intentionally do. Because of the unnecessary cost, unless there's, like, a really good reason for it. Yeah, maybe large light volume. But you guys know what I mean. It just doesn't make sense to have, like, crates of planks on a second story. So where are we exactly? We are... Alright, let's mark some things down. Symbols. Looted, looted, looted. Now, there's still stuff left in the hardware store. I didn't fully loot it. That is a bank. Let's check this garage over here. See if I finally get the materials I need. Still no shovel. Now, if I have to go back to my, like, original loot area, I will. I had a shovel back there in the general store. It would have saved me time at this point, but, like, I couldn't have known that my luck was going to be as it is now. But after a few of these garages, I'll just do that. We're definitely getting to the point of absurdity not being able to find it yet. Okay, let's go to the general store. Enough's enough. Now, the other thing I could do, going to the general store, is bring the generator that we found in this building and hook it up to the general store's gas station. That way we can top up our fuel at the general store, which also happens to have a gas station. So I think that will make the trip out to the general store worth it even more. Because we'll be adding functionality to that area. I'm just gonna get, like, super bad muscle strains as a result. This generator's heavy. Have you checked the tool shop near the gas station? No, I have not. But that was mostly like a metalworking shop, if I am not mistaken. So that could have a shovel, but I kind of like the idea of hooking up generator to the general store's gas station anyway. Man, I'm not going to get used to that skittering. at all. That's so cool. That little, God, I never see those anymore. In my trunk. Yes. The worry was that the trunk wouldn't be able to hold the weight, but no, it's fine. Okay, I know I've spent like 3 days on this finding a stupid shovel, but at least we'll have resolution soon. And this is why I leave the van running. Having it sputter for that long, if I had a lot of zombies on me, they would absolutely shatter the bejesus out of my window and eat my face. It's good to know that the swarm that was attracted to that house alarm definitely dispersed. I really didn't have to kill very many getting in there. I think there's honestly more zombies near that Gigamart than there is in all of downtown. Just looking at the density of downtown, it's like very manageable if we were methodically safe about clearing it out. Whereas that Gigamart was just like death swarm. Very odd distribution. So the driving plan, I'm basically going until it T-intersects. I'll take a right, install the generator, fill up my gas, and then take a left and go to the original loot house. And maybe I sleep in the original loot house, because by the time I get down there, it's going to be like 10 p.m. Something like that. Maybe not. Maybe there'll be time. Let's see. What's the weather like? So at this point, we've already had the helicopter, we've already had the power loss and the water loss. So the only thing the radio is good for at this is just weather. I hope they sort out the, like, chunk loading hiccups and the, well, all the sort of gameplay hiccups. Because those, the converting to a crawler hiccup, it can be really dangerous if you're in the middle of a fight. And then if you're driving fast speeds and you have a chunk load, the problem with the chunk load is, like, once, I don't know if you haven't played it for yourself and you haven't noticed, when it hiccups with there, any input that you are trying to queue is essentially ignored. Meaning, like, if you're about to have to do a tight turn, once the hiccup is done, it's gonna ignore whatever inputs you had in for like a half a second, meaning that there's like a delay, like a 500 millisecond delay before you can, you know, intervene. So if you get that chunk load when you have to do like quick braking or a tight turn or something like that, you're gonna miss your tight turn, you're gonna miss your braking window, and you're gonna end up slamming into things. So as much as it is funny that I like blame it on chunk loading, like it is a very real issue. Usually not fatal, but I can definitely envision a situation where you're trying to like slam the brakes because you're gonna hit a tree and there's like a 200 to 500 millisecond delay on you slamming the brakes, even though you're trying to because the zone was loading. Alright, so here's the T intersection. We're taking a right to go to the gas station. Oh, right. I have to turn it on. All done. So 99% fuel, and our van's all fueled up. There is the icy freezer in here, and given that we were running out of space in the freezer back home, I think it's time to take this icy. I had left it up until this point because ooh, it packs into a 1x1. It used to be 2 pieces, right? Right? Yeah. It used to be 2 pieces, which doesn't really make sense. But damn, 1 piece? I like you even more. What is my windshield HP? Oh, 45? Yeah, yeah. All of my paranoia about zombies smashing my windshield is warranted. That's not a very healthy windshield. 3 zombies, 1 punch each, and they're getting right on through. I think there's time to go home tonight. You know, this crowbar is still fine. I'm going to take it. And we did leave a whole lot of stuff behind last we were here. I didn't think it was, like, important at the time, but it obviously is pretty useful now. I think that's probably... What book was that? I had a spare, right? I mean, there's a lot of other things in the shelves and whatnot, but the really important stuff I've grabbed. Sorry, TV. Alright, let's get back home. And thank you for reminding me that I did indeed have a shovel here. That was very helpful. Because my, like, wild goose chase for a shovel was so unsuccessful. Laughably unsuccessful. Going to an entire hardware store and not finding a shovel is kind of like a little mind-boggling, if you ask me. Two rain barrels are still there. True. I'm okay with leaving them there for now. But I will try to remember that they are indeed there. The reason I'm okay leaving there is my carpentry skill could be higher. And my carpentry skill, as it is now, I have something like a 60% chance of breaking it. And if I'm going to be building more of my second floor office living area in the community center, my carpentry skill is going to, like, skyrocket. Additionally, I do not have the Carpentry 3 book. And in not having the Carpentry 3 book, I don't have boosted carpentry experience. So at some point, it might be really wise, if I do want proper carpentry skill, to seek out that book. Whether it's from the high school in Brandenburg or from an adjacent city, like the bookstore in Riverside or something like that. I think of all the... I'll leave this up a little bit longer. Of all the things I'm currently missing... Yeah, let me bring it up so I can see it. Carpentry 3 is definitely going to be useful. And maybe Masonry 1, depending on what I want to build. Those are the big ones. But Carpentry 3 is... If I want to be able to make things like stairs. And if you're wondering what stairs would do for me, I was foolish and I forgot that, like, generators don't go up the rope with you anymore, like they used to. So the generator at the community center can't be on the roof until I get my carpentry skill up high enough to be able to build stairs to be able to put it back to where it needs to be. So I broke my my access to the roof down prematurely. And I will need carpentry experience to be able to rectify that. But that comes in time, provided I don't die. Oh, the city looks so different without the street lights. Hey, hey, hey! Watch the paint! Downtown's not too swarming, but the really narrow road makes it very challenging to drive through some of those groups. Someday we'll clear them out. I'd very much like to try to obtain a proper firearm and clear them out the fun way. Because it doesn't look like downtown Brandenburg is swarming so much to the point where, like, a shotgun with, like, a few spare boxes of shells won't be able to handle it. Can I dismantle the electric poles? I don't believe so. I think these are, environment. There's a lot of things in Zomboid that are just, like, environment and not interactable. Nice. And we've had our generator on pretty much the entire day, and we have not attracted anything. Indicating that, there's just not a lot of zombies around to be pissed off at us. See, you can somewhat visualize the radius of the lights. This sconce over here, this light fixture is not illuminated. Generators don't have infinite range. Alright, floor storage. Sorry to do this to you, but we're going to store more on the floor. And let's go grab that icy freezer too, before I hit the hay. So just to reaffirm, and I suspect you guys will continue voting for the community garden project, but if you don't want me to do it, feel free to vote for an alternative. I know I've spent 2 hours on this, and I have nil to show for it. But I think tomorrow will be a day of progress. All things considering. Nope, don't take a transfer. Okay, we have a whole bunch of food in the freezer there. Good. You know, I'm gonna move... I'm gonna move that freezer. No, don't transfer into the bag. Transfer onto the floor. What, the floor is at capacity? Fine. Stupid game. Like how the game was like, too heavy for inventory, but you're still allowed to move it. Don't worry. Alright, I wanted the icy here instead. And there we go, it's all loaded up. And then this fridge, because I don't want to pay for its gasoline, I'm gonna like try to drop it away from the generator so that it's not powered up. Man, I'm going to sleep at a really rotten hour. Alright, sleep. Finally. And in the morning I'll check to make sure that that mini fridge is not powered up by the generator. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Brandenburg Shelter, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow zombie survivors.